Today we are driving the 2024 Lexus RX 500h F-Sport Performance. But before we get it out on the road and before I give you a brief tour, let me remote start by clicking the walk button 3 times. Now let me briefly show you around this Lexus RX. You can option on this key glove, and it is special for F-Sport duty with thread stitching and an F on the back. This RX was heavily updated last year, so everything is going to carry over, like the latest interpretation of the spindle grille, these vents down below, and also these new LED headlights. Everything is more aggressive for F-Sport duty, like these Mac Gray 21-inch alloy wheels. For F-Sport duty, you also get these black brake calipers, an F on the side, these black mirrors with heating, blind spot monitoring, auto dimming, and power folding, and some more black trim pieces. These door handles are electronic, so you're just going to push the button behind them and it's going to open right up. Of course, you also have the iconic slope of the roof for the RX. I really like the way this new RX looks. Everything is very sporty, and I think Lexus did a great job in the studios. Moving around to the back, you're going to find this Lexus badge right here, and a big light bar that goes all the way across. The kick sensor works very well. If you have a tow hitch, just kick slightly to the right of it. Inside the trunk, you're not really going to find as much space as the competition, but I think it's going to be okay for most people. The owner of this car put in this interesting interior protector, so just don't mind that. As a maximum, you will get 46 cubic feet. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the rear seats and see what you get back there. So back here, you're going to find a very nice door panel with some suede, leather, and a Mark Levinson sound system. You can also power lock and unlock the doors from back here. These seats are power reclining and they are very comfortable. They will be made of leather and suede. In the center here, you're going to find 2 USB-C ports, heated and cooled seats, and a third zone of climate control. The seat back pockets aren't very big, but as you can see, I have a good amount of legroom. In the center here, you're going to find 2 cup holders and a little storage area for anything that you might have, like a phone charger or a phone itself. And here is a little sneak peek of what we are about to get into next. To open the door, you're just going to push and hold on this little silver part. The front area is kind of interesting. There are some good things and some bad things, and some nice gimmicks. You have an illuminated F-Sport logo, and you have these very comfortable seats which are 14-way power adjusting. Inside, you're going to find a very nice steering wheel right here, and to the left here, you're going to find 3-person memory seats, a trunk release, and a gas cap release. Let's start it up. This leather-wrapped steering wheel feels amazing in the hand, and you get these really good-sized paddles behind them. The touch controls work pretty well as long as your hands don't climb up too much, and everything will be controlled up here in the head display so that you don't have to take your eyes off the road. Behind the steering wheel is a nice gauge cluster, and you get a good amount of customization, but not too much. As far as materials are concerned, you get some suede, leatherettes, this fake aluminum trim, and you have some more leatherettes by your knees. Now you can actually push down this cup holder for larger drinks, which is a very nice gimmick that I think a lot of people will be using. Storage is pretty good. You can pull this back, and then there's also a storage area above that. So in the infotainment system, you're going to find Lexus's latest software. This is shared with some Toyota products like the Tundra, Sequoia, the Tacoma, and a lot of other Toyota products are now using it. The climate controls are integrated into the bottom of this, so you get heated and ventilated seats, 2 stages of heated steering wheel, and a couple other things like your fan speed and your temperature controls. Everything works very easily. You get wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. This is the same exact system that's in the Toyota Highlander, except this one has a 14-inch screen including the climate controls, where the Highlander only has a 12.3-inch screen. Storage-wise, in the center console, you're going to find a good amount of space and felt lining, and you can open it from both sides, which is very helpful. This gear shifter is electronic, and when you go into reverse, you're going to find a very high resolution backup camera. The parking sensors are doing its job because when I get closer to the tripod, it's automatically going to slam on the brakes if I don't stop. Overall, I really like the interior of this car. They didn't go over the top with the screens, and I liked how they kept it simple but modern. Everything feels high quality as it should in a Lexus. Up top here, you're going to find a large panoramic sunroof. But I've had enough of this brief tour. Let's go ahead and get this Lexus RX out on the road. Alright, so we are in the 2024 Lexus RX 500h F Sport Performance. So this is going to be a little bit different of a route because we had to go get gas because this car only had 7 miles left in the gas tank, which was not enough to keep the engine running during filming and to drive it around. But let's talk about the powertrain in this Lexus RX 500h F Sport Performance. So this model will have a 2.4-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine paired with 2 electric motors, making 366 horsepower and 406 pound-feet of torque. This is all mated to a 6-speed automatic transmission, and you get pretty good fuel economy at 27 in the city, 26 in the highway, and 27 combined. Yes, the city measurement is actually better than the highway because you can better take advantage of the electric motors, which is used in the hybrid system. This car will do 0 to 60 in about 5.7 seconds, which is very good for a Lexus RX. But if you are keeping track of the competition, that is going to be about the same as the Lincoln Nautilus hybrid, and it's also going to be about the same as the base engine in the BMW X5 and the Mercedes GLE. So this engine is one of 4 different powertrains. So you can get the regular 350, which would be a normal gas 2.4-liter turbocharged 4, and then there's the 350h, which would be a slow version of the hybrid. I think that is a 2.5-liter inline 4-cylinder engine that's going to have around 240 horsepower. There's the 450h Plus, so that's going to have a different engine. I'm pretty sure it's also a 4-cylinder, but that is a plug-in hybrid because the H is always hybrid, and then the H Plus is plug-in hybrid. And then we have this, the 500h F Sport Performance, and that is the quickest RX of all time. I think this is a really good engine because you get all of the power that you need, and also it's very efficient. 27 miles per gallon is very good for the class. But we really need to talk about the ride quality because this is a very impressive element about this Lexus RX. It feels like you're driving on a cloud. That's how smooth this Lexus RX is. The Toyota Highlander, the mainstream version of this car, was also very smooth, but this RX takes it to a whole new level. The ride quality by itself, if it means a lot to you, then that is a very good reason to upgrade to the RX all the way. This is an incredibly smooth car, and I don't even know how they pulled it off. If you're comparing it to the competition like the Lincoln Nautilus, I feel like the Nautilus would be a little bit rougher. That's what I've heard from other reviewers. I know the BMW X5, I know not everybody compares this RX to the X5, but the X5 would probably be rougher than this because it is a little bit sportier of a car, and they are focusing more on that, so that would make the suspension a little bit more stiff. I don't know how Lexus managed to pull this off, but whatever they did an amazing job on this car. And I heard that the TX is quite similar to this in terms of ride quality, and that is very good for families that want a larger SUV. But now let's talk about the wind noise. So, wind noise is kept to a minimum, and I think it should be in a luxury car like this. It is noticeably quieter than the Toyota Highlander, and also it is a lot quieter than a lot of the other cars that it competes with. Lexus has always done a great job of keeping the cabin relatively quiet, and that continues on for the 2024 model year. Take a sample of how loud it is. As you can probably tell, Lexus did a great job of keeping this cabin quiet, and they probably should for $70,000. But there's one last thing that I haven't talked about yet, and that is the 6-speed automatic transmission. So, because of the performance hybrid in this car, they had to step down to an old school 6-speed automatic transmission instead of keeping the 8-speed that's in the RX with the regular 4-cylinder engine. There's nothing wrong with this engine, it's just that the 8-speed has more gears to choose from, and I think it's a little bit smoother in my opinion. There isn't really anything wrong with this because the 5-speed automatic and the 6-speed automatic were Toyota and Lexus's best transmissions ever, so that is a big plus if you want to keep this car for a very long time. So overall, it is relatively smooth, although it can get clunky at some times, and I think it's just a pretty good transmission overall. Let's see an acceleration test in the Lexus RX. Wow, this Lexus RX really pulls hard, and you're going to get up to speed very quickly in this. The Lexus RX has never exactly been regarded as fast, but I think that's all going to change once people get into this 500h F-Sport performance. That's going to wrap up the talking part of this video, so thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. But be sure to enjoy this clip of us using the advanced park system.
Okay, let's choose this one. And start?
Yeah.
What's it gonna do?
It's going
back.
It's doing this to go back in.